of this where I tell you Cornel West is a fraud. But that's not quite right, and being almost right while sounding definitive is, as it happens, his signature move. West has built an entire intellectual career on the art of the important-sounding pivot. Ask him about mass incarceration and he'll give you 3 minutes of prophetic cadence before landing somewhere in the vicinity of an answer. Ask him about capitalism and he'll invoke Chekhov, Coltrane, and the Book of Job in the same breath, which is impressive the first time, theatrical the second, and by the third you start to wonder if the references are doing the thinking so you don't have to. And that's the first thing worth naming. West treats citation as argument. If he can connect your question to a tradition, blues, black Christianity, Frankfurt School critical theory, he has, by his own implicit logic, answered it. The genealogy of an idea becomes a substitute for its analysis. This isn't scholarship. It's prestige laundering. Which wouldn't matter if he were just a preacher. But he bills himself as a philosopher, and philosophers are supposed to do something uncomfortable. Follow an argument to where it actually goes, even if that's somewhere ugly or inconvenient. West doesn't do that. He follows an argument to where it sounds right. There's a difference. One requires rigor. The other requires rhythm. What makes this harder to dismiss is that the instincts underneath the performance are often genuinely correct. His moral intuitions about empire, about disposable populations, about the spiritual cost of market logic, these aren't wrong. They're actually pretty important. But good instincts aren't a methodology. A broken clock is right twice a day, and it still can't tell you the time. So we arrive at the most damning part. West has made a career of positioning himself as the voice of prophetic witness, the figure who tells hard truths that comfortable people don't want to hear. The image requires a kind of suffering, a marginality, and opposition to power. And he has cultivated that image with extraordinary care: the three-piece suit, the train rides, the rhetoric of the embattled outsider. But prophets don't audition for the role. The performance of radical honesty isn't radical honesty. It's just performance. And when the aesthetics of resistance become their own form of brand management, when the style of speaking truth to power starts to serve the speaker more reliably than it serves the truth, you're not witnessing prophecy anymore. You're watching a very sophisticated form of self-promotion disguised as sacrifice. Cornel West is not a charlatan. He's something more interesting and more frustrating than that. He's a thinker who found a way to make the appearance of depth substitute for its substance, and then spent decades perfecting the substitution. The tragedy isn't that he's wrong. It's that he almost wasn't.